There was someone outside who called him 1 minute before the explosion, so he came outside and then...
She was about to get married in 2 weeks. Unfortunately, she died during this explosion.
How do you see the future?
We have to be positive in a way to survive day by day. It's too bad that all this is happening, and I hope that we always say, let's hope. I hope that things goes back like before, because it's a lovely country.
Let's talk about Lebanon.
Corruption and is unable to care for its people.
Half the population living below the poverty line.
This is different from any other crisis that this country has witnessed. People all around me, they're all gone.
The highest number of refugee per capita.
The government is calling for refugees to leave the country.
80% of the Lebanese population is also in poverty after the collapse.
You are not supposed to speak. They're losing everyday money.
Bullet holes. How's life in the refugee camp?
If I will die, I will die.
Okay, so welcome back to another day in Beirut. Today I will be engaging with a lot of people who were affected by the blast, the explosion in the port of Beirut in 2020. So when I meet now an owner of an antique shop affected by the explosion. Nice to meet you.
He used to trade in carpets first, used to fix them as well. That's how he started in the 80s. Then he started trading with antique later on. So he was one of the first to have such a business.
How is today this shop, given all the financial problems in Lebanon and people maybe having less money to buy?
Of course it was different. When the $1 was 1,500 lira, it was more doable for people to buy antique. With Instagram, these borders are broken, so he can post anything on Instagram, and because it's a very special piece, it has its customers maybe in Iran, in Iraq, in Egypt, in a lot of different areas.
I understand that there are a lot of people buying from him, also international people.
Yes.
But does he have local?
زباين لبنانية.
Yes, have.
Yeah, he has local Lebanese customers. A population of the Lebanese people who live abroad, and they have their own businesses, and they have their own huge amount of good money. So they come here to Lebanon, they already have their own properties, they stay for 10-15 days, and they can buy whatever they want, and then they go back to their real life abroad, and they have already their own businesses. The Lebanese people love antiques. Sometimes they're collectors and they love a certain piece and they want to get it. So they're known that they like to show off and they like to collect. Even if they don't have much money themselves, they buy what they are able to afford.
How was the explosion impacting your business?
When the explosion happened, he lost around $150,000. It was a huge damage, catastrophic scene when he saw what he saw in his shop. And there was someone outside who called him 1 minute before the explosion. So he came outside, and then the explosion happened. He was saying that if he was standing where he is, where he shot him, he could have died.
All the glass was completely shattered. Everything here was damaged, which is insane to think how a place 2 kilometers away from the port can still be so impacted.
So he thought that there is something nuclear because he saw the smoke. He was in shock and everything was damaged, but luckily nothing happened to him physically. Even when the explosion happened, some thefts were happening. Some thieves took advantage of the situation and they started stealing. So he stayed in his shop sleeping 2-3 nights.
There's a very interesting story here with the firefighters and the port of Beirut. Nada, if you can share a little bit more.
During the August 4 explosion, the same day, there was a fire in one of the harbors. They didn't tell these firefighters that there will be exploding stuff inside of the port. So they were trying to extinguish this fire. They couldn't make it. They were opening the door and then the explosion happened. Some of them, they don't know where is their bodies even. There's a story of one of the girls, Sahar. She was a firefighter even. And she was about to get married in 2 weeks. So she unfortunately died during this explosion. And it's very sad and what happened.
You can see all these pictures of the martyrs. This is another side of the Port of Beirut explosion. One of the firefighters told us, hey, I have something for you to show you. This means a lot to me. This is one of the pieces, one of the clothes from one of these martyrs. So we go now to his office to see this.
هلا رح اعطيه
This is our flag.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
These are the heroes, right? What happened here affected really a lot of people. I think pretty much everyone in Beirut. How were you affected by the Port of Beirut explosion in 2020?
My scheduled time to work is from 10 till 6. They told me leave at 4.
Kind of a reduced
Yes.
working hours in a
Reduced
way
working-
because of the pandemic, because of the
Protesters,
protest on the
yes,
street,
yes.
to give you more time to go home. And
Yes. And they were saying that maybe things are getting better. Maybe soon we'll go back, like a few days more, and we will go back to 6. So I was lucky that it's not that I was here and I left. My schedule was till 4. This saved me. Yeah, this thing
Wow.
saved me, and not only me, saved the people that used to come here. We live by luck. Yeah, I could have died for sure.
it's crazy to think sometimes when we think about 2020, a crazy year for everyone.
Yes.
But for you, in a way, it was a lucky year.
I was really saved, and I said till when? Because when I saw later how many people were affected, and they were by coincidence in this area, they were by chance on the road.
I've seen pictures of this library during the explosion and all that, and it was, windows shattered, walls damaged. How did you come back from this?
So we came back directly, and like the second day they told us you have to come and we have to start.
Even with the windows shattered, the walls
Yes.
destroyed, you still were coming?
Like the second day, they told us, Yalla, you have to be prepared. All of you have to come, take the glasses from the books, and to put it on a big carton and find a place for it safe, so that if the reconstruction group come, they can work easily.
But were people coming here, to study or to read a book?
Nobody could enter on the 3 libraries because they were really damaged.
Who was paying for these works?
Emirates Embassy.
So it was mainly the Emirates Embassy
Yes.
who put the money to do all the construction works for those 4 months.
Yes. And then during these 4 months, we were working in other libraries.
Those libraries were also affected.
Yes.
For how long you've been working in the library? How many
In
years?
the library, like 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
The library is working well. There's still some economical problems, but how do you see the future? Do you remain positive?
We have to be positive in a way to survive day by day. But for the future, really, it's very vague for me.
You just get used to.
Maybe we are tired. I think we are tired. When you are tired, you don't think anymore like before, you know what I mean?
No, of course. And
you don't think because you are tired. You cannot think more than this. If you bring somebody that not Lebanese, not living all the time here, and you talk to him, he will be different. We assume, we talk, we say, this will happen, but nobody knows anything.
If you were, let's say, the young generation, like people who are in school right now, they kind of have hope for the future, or they should explore, other countries or other alternatives, or they should stay because things will change. How do you feel about that?
If I was at his place, I will do this, but we are not at his place.
It's hard.
It's very hard. It's their future. I think it will be tough on them more, Yani. If I was a child, it will be more tough on me. I love Lebanon, and really it's too bad that all of this is happening. And I hope that, we always say, let's hope. I hope that things goes back like before, because it's a lovely country.
Hope so too. Thank you very much
you're
for your
welcome.
time.
You're
It's been a
welcome.
pleasure.
Me too.
You can see here bullet holes pretty much everywhere in these buildings, and this is part of the civil war that took place in this country. So this building, it's a lot of security. You cannot see them now, but just looking at me right now, this is the reality. I'm literally in the Green Line, what it used to be the Green Line separation. This was dividing East and West Beirut. It's like a division because of religion, political views and stuff like that. This was from 1975 till 1990, the Civil War period. And it was very dangerous to cross this line. Luckily today, this doesn't exist anymore and people are free to move around. So as we get closer to the port, you can see this is actually now for rent. So if you want to rent this place, you need to pay a lot of money because you need to renovate this place. Very, very expensive. So it looks like abandoned. As we get closer to the port, you can also see buildings like this one, completely closed, still affected by the explosion. You can see again the windows shattered, walls destroyed. Also in some places you kind of need to be careful because you see the balconies broken, so maybe you're walking and this can fall directly. Then you have the opposite. You have like a massive new building just next to it. It's kind of in a way like a lot of contrast that you see on the streets here in Beirut. As we approach the port, this is a boutique hotel and the grand opening was exactly on the same day of the explosion. They were preparing for the grand opening. The explosion happened and they lost a lot of money. And of course, richer people are back to business, and the ones that didn't have this money couldn't come back to business. I think it's very important to see the whole picture here and to acknowledge that everyone was affected to a certain extent here.
People or any one of us, they're losing everyday money, you know? So it's a disaster until everything it gets